Hold on, wait. You know what? I wanna get my virtual background. Maya, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
How's it going today?
It's going good. It's been real slow, smooth, relaxing.
It's your birthday.
Yep, 28.
28th. I brought you flowers.
Thank you so much. They're so beautiful.
Yeah, I picked them for you.
That's so sweet.
It's your
Thank you.
birthday.
For the photo shoot, I definitely brought flowers into them.
So wait, so you're 28. That's a big number. You know, in this community, you're a guest. You know, anybody that's here, happy birthday. Zara says happy birthday to you.
Thank you, Zara.
Zara's the best. We love Zara.
Yes.
So okay, so you're 28. It's a great number, and it's May 1st.
Yes, May
This
1st.
is the maiden voyage of Chiz Onchain, and this is Chiz and Mya Onchain.
Mm-hmm.
And we're
Yep.
going to share art, tell stories, and get you from not being on chain at all, meaning in crypto on the blockchain, to when you've got your own wallets and doing your own thing and doing decentralized finance. But before we do that, we're going to share art, okay?
Yes.
And celebrate your birthday. And also I want to if yeah, I want to explain how we met.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh,
since you're a
please.
guest, maybe I should start and just tell you that, or tell whoever that Maya and I met on Twitter, right?
Yes.
And how did we get to know each other, Maya?
We've been friends since 2019, and I believe just our own posts, we started to engage with each other because of how like like-minded we were and spiritually inclined. Um, and then we have like just conversations about things that's pretty deep and pretty um taboo, I guess, or just uncommon.
Yeah. And conversations, just texting until this week. We'd never talked really or seen each other like this. We were
Basic.
just like talking through Twitter. So
Mm,
weird.
I know.
Yeah. So weird, but it was good. And I always had a sense that we would become friends and that we would collaborate in some way. And then when someone proposed that I do some live streaming for one of the projects that we're going to be talking about, right? There's three projects that you and I are going to be talking about. One is the Eros plan, another is Ascendant, and another is Ouroboros. Those are the three that it just kind of mirrors what I'm doing right now at Essence. And so we're
Hmm.
going to cut to the chase and get rid of the noise and just go to the heart of matters, right? So we're going to do that. Wait, how did I lost my train of thought. Maya, bring me back. What did I what did I do?
The three, I forgot what you called them, but
Well, the three
Ouroboros,
projects and the
the
three
three
foci.
projects.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But before we do that, so is there anything you want to share? Because you're a
Yes.
creator and like what's the holistic thing? So we met on Twitter. Could you just share a little bit, not too much, because part of this is about setting boundaries with the world and making
Yeah.
sure that we do it in a good way, right? But
Yeah.
just share a little bit, even with me, because I'm just getting to know you. Who are you and how'd you get here? And why'd you say yes when I said, hey, do you want to join me on a crypto live stream? Like, why'd you say yes?
So, holistic wellness and health, I started to get into that after I became a academic teacher, educator for youth. And I just realized for the kids to be academically successful, they need to take care of their other aspects of themselves holistically. So, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. And so, for the past 5 years, when I met you, I started to really dive deep into those other aspects of myself and
Mm.
not just be academically like successful. But within those years, things have been tough, dark for many of us. And so this piece that I wrote, like created last night or over the course of a couple weeks,
Yep.
it says keep going, which I feel like is what a lot of people have to tell themselves, especially most recently or like currently. And despite what's happening in the world or in your life, to remind yourself to keep going, however that looks, taking care of yourself as best as you can, having those boundaries, just like you said, because there's people that will distract you, that will throw you off, psych you out, manipulate you, and you just have to be strong and keep going. Slowly, quickly, however you can.
And
But
so Maya, did you make this for this time?
yeah, for this time, after coming out of pretty, you know, rough circumstances with people in my life, um, yeah. And so even within like the picture, we have the butterfly, which is like growth, transformation. And even though you've been through something traumatic or painful, you can still grow from it, transform from it. So instead of letting those lower density emotions like fear, anger, shame to like really hold you down, it's to ultimately ascend, which is another image with the triangle,
Right.
ascend to a higher consciousness over the situation and also to clear your heart. So to find those higher vibrations of love, joy, understanding, peace, alignment through circumstances within your life and in the world. And then there's a lotus here.
I saw the lotus flower. You see my lotus flowers here that
Yes, yes. And
Rain Man
usually,
made for us.
huh?
You see what the he this is Rain Man's art, right? That's
Yeah,
Gus's art.
it's
Yeah,
beautiful.
it's beautiful, right? And you just independently made that lotus flower, right? Could you
Yes.
why?
So usually I'll go for like drawing a rose or like a tulip because roses are common and just like tulips, it's easy to draw. But I was really being called to draw the lotus because of just the meaning of like just how they can grow from just a very hard environment, just a tough environment, unlikely to grow anything to grow there through the mud, right? And like how people say, "Oh, I got it out the mud." There's people that literally had those tough experiences, circumstances, and they still were able to grow into something beautiful throughout all of that, and can actually like sustain itself within those environments, you know? And another part of the
Oh yeah.
painting is this evil eye. And so just basically protection from negative, just toxic entities, individuals, because you will encounter that like on your journey. So how do you navigate, protection, boundaries, being able to be aware, being conscious enough, like, okay, there's something going on here and I need to protect myself, defend myself, however it seems fit. And then another part of the triangle,
Uh-huh.
the mind, body, soul, spirit, and making sure we're actually taking care of that triangle, that part of us. Um, and also the Trinity, which I believe is man, woman, God, and being aligned with that, within that, the Holy Spirit, patience, forgiveness, love, healing, just the healing those parts of you so you can feel those emotions, experiences, more joyful experiences. I love to laugh. I believe in joy. I believe that was a huge um thing in my life that kept me going, was like finding laughter within things, like
Like,
cracking a joke.
I mean, humor, man. I mean, for sure.
It's everything, because
I'm with you.
yeah, even though I may be upset about something 5 minutes ago, humor will bring me back center to ground myself and then to remember, like, to stay above this, keep going.
So Maya, so I want to share some art with you. Thank you for sharing that. That was cool. I love
Well,
that there's a butterfly, a lotus flower, an evil eye. See, the beauty of art is that we just make it up, right? We just make it up and nobody can tell us no. It's radical freedom.
mm-hmm.
That's why when someone tells me don't do something, I'm going to find a way to make art. I'm going to transform it into a
Oh,
creation. It's radical freedom,
mm-hmm.
and I learned that sometimes from people in tough situations too, in war zones, prisons, like street, corporate battles, like in the middle of battles, you sort of learn that, yeah. So, okay, I want to share something with you. So when we met, I read you some of what I'm writing right now, right? I read
Yes.
you a piece of a book, right? Do you remember that? Do you remember that
Yeah.
experience? What do
Yes.
you
It, it was so shocking. Like, it just, I couldn't believe it. The story is very powerful.
Hmm,
It will open minds, change lives.
hmm.
Like, absolutely
And so
powerful.
and so you think I should complete it?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out when.
Well, I'm going to work on it. All right, let me share. I'm going to undo this. So thank you, Rayman, for that art. I'm going to settings. I'm going to learn this a little bit. I'm going to get rid of my virtual background and show you where I'm at right now. Okay. Um, and share some art. Well, actually, I want to know what kind of art do you want? You want spoken? You want to see
Um,
carvings? You want to hear poems? What do you want?
mm,
Old
okay.
school, new school? I mean, because this is getting us inspired to talk money. Because pretty soon we're going to talk digital money, right? And programmable money. But before we do that, we got to get into, or I got to get into the flow so that I can.
Probably images, but you read part of the book last time, so if you want to do that, include that.
Are you saying that you want to hear more of that book?
Yeah, if yeah,
All
but
right. So
I
on
love
this,
your to tomatic draw pieces.
what's which one?
The tomatic,
Oh, the totemic stuff. Oh,
totemic, yeah.
I need to show this. All right. So this is any Ouroboros fans out there. This is Ouroboros, man. This, I mean, you can't really tell, but this is Ouroboros. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and there is shadowy is right here. This is shadowy right here.
Mm-hmm.
Shadowy is the builder, and he is a gifted builder and developer. And he's also part of the reason why he's um, so amazing is that he's anonymous, right? It's part of the thing when you get deep into the DeFi jungle. where you get off of centralized exchanges and you get onto the blockchain and into innovative spaces, there's a lot of people that want to retain privacy, right? And so blockchain, part of what it can do, if we're smart, is give us some sense of privacy, or less, or at least the perception of privacy. Who knows what's really private these days, right? Uh,
Right.
so anyway, that was shadowy. That's a cool piece. This
Yeah, it's
piece,
really nice.
what?
It's really nice.
Yeah, it's beautiful. This piece is one of my favorite pieces. This is a piece that I've been photographing,
Mhm.
and putting with a lot of these different totemic carvings that I started carving, because I'll talk about why I do the carving in a minute, but this is a cool piece.
Yeah,
And
it
there's a
is.
poem that goes with this piece. Yeah, so those are the cool pieces. I'll show you this because, so the thing is, my like, I'm a father first. Like this little piece of carving, it's a little piece of cherry.
I
This
see.
is this represents fatherhood, right?
Wow.
And this
Beautiful.
little piece right here is my son, right?
That's beautiful.
Just hand carving. I just make things for. These are your flowers. See flowers.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah, it's cool. So, all right. So the art. So let me just tell you why I started carving for crypto. Like it's sort of a strange combination, right? Uh,
Mhm.
and so that's part of, I think, this is why we're here. Like I started doing this about a year ago, probably a little more,
Mhm.
little over a year ago, and I started carving one of the inventor of Titan X, which is why we're here. Everything that we're going to be doing on chain is going to be build on Titan X, okay, which is
Mhm.
built on Ethereum. And so we're going to be talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum, but we're going to focus on Titan X because that's the project that spawned these carvings, Ouroboros, the Ascendant protocol that I told you about. I'm going to share Ascendant NFTs, and Eros too, Eros and the Eros plan, which is really a community migration plan, but we can talk about it later. But the point is that the founder of this project called Titan X, a guy named Jake, okay, and about a year and a half ago, he called people out and asked people to bring the best of who we are out, right? Um, there's a lot of projection onto him and other public figures in crypto just because it's a very volatile and risky business, basically. And it's remote and decentralized, and people don't really have full relationships in it. And so people target and get targeted. Anyway, we're not going to make it about Jake, but one thing that he did was he called people out. And I actually listen. How I do crypto is I listen to the developer. Who's ever doing the invention, who's ever building, who's ever developing, that's who I'm going to listen to and see through the words to what's really going on.
Mhm.
So in this case, he called people out and he said, just bring whatever you have to this community, right? And so I said, all right, I'm going to bring Chiz, right? I'm going to bring the art. I'm going to bring like my carving, because I normally don't. Normally it's very private. I don't share my art. I don't
Yeah.
do it commercially. I just don't. I do it for me, and I do it as a gift. I do it for myself and then for the people that I gift,
Mhm.
these carvings to. And the totemic piece of it. So Jake said, hey, bring out the best of you. And I was like, all right, I'm going to start carving Titan X totems. Okay, why? Because totemic art is symbolic art. It's symbols, okay? And it's ancient in human tradition. Every society has a form of totemic art. It's sort of how people relate with the ancestral realms, the unseen world. And so people in like Native Americans in Vancouver Island, for example, have a totem tradition where they use bears and eagles and like salmon as the animal archetypes that help the humans communicate with the ancestors, right? And so, I just started carving wood personally just because I had to get it out. I had a lot of stuff inside. I guess I had been dealing with conflict for a long time, war zones and like prison zones and like street zones, and you know, how guys are, right?
Yeah, tough.
Well, it's just the cycle. What's that?
I was imagining toughness and being strong, but not able to really release those experiences and emotions, like taking time to pause for
Yeah,
everyone, but especially for men.
yeah,
And yeah, those safety spaces to break
exactly.
down. Carvings will release.
Exactly. And I didn't really know what I was doing, but I was sort of getting stuff out. And I was fortunate because I found a medium. I used to build
Okay.
houses, and I found that I was good with my hands, and I freed my mind, and I freed my everything. I would just lose myself for 20 hours at a time, carving in Central Park all through the night.
That's
You
beautiful.
know?
Wow.
Yeah,
You
for
like, I don't
years.
want,
It's crazy.
you're like, I don't want to take a break.
All right, good. Why don't you take a break?
No, you're like, I don't want to take a break. Let's keep going.
Oh, you're talking. I thought you're saying that you need.
About the carvings with the
Oh,
carving.
I used to do it all by myself, though. Honestly,
They're
I mean,
crazy.
I used to get a lot of visitors because right now, I mean, I only carve in Central Park, a few times a year now. Mostly, I'm out of the city, and I'm in a place where I can, this is like my attic where I keep some carvings and I hang out with them, and I finish them in here. I paint them sometimes, I sand them, I stain them. But the totemic thing is, yeah, it just, it came out of me. I found that medium, and it gave me a way to express things that I had never been able to, you know. Um, and yeah. So
That's
and so yeah, so I decided to do it, and then it was really good for my art because how I do my art now, first I carve, right?
hmm
And then I take photographs of them, and then I've been playing with digital remakes of them, and I've just been enjoying it. So I do art not for commercial purposes. I like to gift it. I like to give it away. Um, but now crypto has me thinking actually how to use it, to support protocols. But that's a different story. I've got a way now to think about it, but I don't really want to do that. So yeah. All right. So art. Okay. So what about that book? I mean, this book, I don't want to spend much time doing it because I actually want to talk crypto. Okay. And I want to sort of cut to the chase with it. So maybe I shouldn't read. Actually, you know what?
Or a poem. Do you have a poem?
I've got poems. All right. This is a good one because it's a poem. Every carving has a poem attached to it.
That's beautiful.
Every carving has and it's got sometimes I burn like this is in a piece of paper. It's not in digital format. I don't like to keep. So anyway, so sometimes I burn it and I redo it and I redo names. And so this is called No Right Way. Okay, but it's based on a carving called crocodile. Crocodile. Okay.
Okay.
So just imagine the scene. Okay. I'm carving a big piece of wood. It's about 10 feet tall. So, it's about 10 feet tall. Think about a basketball. It's probably about 9 feet tall. And it's about 10 inches in diameter. And I'm sort of walking back and forth from my apartment to Central Park near the Harlem Mirror, uptown in Central Park. Okay. And I would find a quiet spot on a Sunday morning or a Saturday morning or a Tuesday night, whenever I could carve. And I would bring the wood and I would drop it down and start carving. This was a weekend where it was I just remember it was a beautiful summer day. It was like hot. There was like drums in the background. There's always like good music and good vibes in Central Park. And it was so good. It was perfect day. And I was blissing out carving, working out all the world's problems. That's what I do. I was like, whatever I was doing in my professional and personal world, I would work out into the woods silently for hours. So imagine me doing that. And it says, Emile the Frenchman saw ghosts from his past in Papua New Guinea. He ran at them and he joined with their jaws of death, wrestling the crocodile and posing for the camera. He had seen this piece I made upside down, or what I had come to see as upside down. I was defying my original thinking that there was no right side up, no way it should be, no specific anything in this piece, not even a crocodile. But logic kept on coming. It was not logical to walk back and forth with this monstrosity. I should just leave it in the park while I work it. Fuck it. So I did. And it developed a top and a bottom because it had been part of a tree. And it made sense that the fatter part was the lower part. And it would fit better on the base when it was finished. And it would look better. And people would understand it. And maybe they would like it better. Fuck that. I don't give a shit. Not here. Crocodile, snakes, birds, clouds, rocks, faces. Central Park, black cherry. What?
Fuck that. I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck.
I love it. Yeah.
I mean, people, this is one of the things, part of
For
the
your
thing
art.
in my crypto community, by the way, recently I was told on a public space to drop the F-bomb. And I was like, out of respect, I said, okay. But the other part of me is like, no, that's how I talk. That's my culture. That's how I grew
Right.
up. And there are times where people are just going to have to be uncomfortable. And the guy said, no, if we were in a boardroom, I was like, we're not in a fucking boardroom, by the way. And in boardrooms, people curse at each other all the time.
That's
There's
what I'm
nothing
saying.
special about a boardroom. That's a fantasy.
A
So
construct, a,
anyway, the
a
spiritual being
professional social.
in me doesn't want to curse all the time, but sometimes it's just who I am.
Same. You already know. So I'm gonna try to refrain from cursing, but no promises. Really, no promises.
All right. So I'm going to bring back on that regard, I'm going to bring back my background
Okay.
just so this gets me into the crypto mind. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So are we starting that now?
Unless you want to chill more.
Um, I did want to include with the holistic aspect of finances.
Yes. Why don't
So
we go there?
also,
Why don't you do that?
yeah. So especially in certain communities, the consciousness of money, my bad, of money, of currency, and how that can make them, they're pretty, maybe ignorant or just uncomfortable with the concept of money and don't know how to really handle it, manage it, um, budgeted, things like that. And so with crypto, I'm pretty open-minded to just learn different financial currencies, um, but also markets and just how things can operate. But I know right now these times are just very just unpredictable and volatile. So I'm not like having a set anything. I'm just open-minded here to
Cool.
learn um, and to change my mind with how I view currency, um, money, finances, and also be able to teach that, eventually help others change their mindsets, their consciousness, their relationship. Yep.
Cool.
That
So
was
that
it.
so then that's why I asked you to do this.
Hmm.
And is that why you agreed? Because you were thinking money consciousness and
Yeah.
it's time,
Yeah, energy, yeah, currency. I just want
currency,
to specify that just because money is how we see it, how it's structured or placed in this in our societies. But currency, that's energy, your energy, you know? And that's the true like currency of the earth, but it's been narrowed down to fiat currency, money.
right?
And so we could get deep into that system, but
Well, I think
yeah.
the fiat
I,
thing is it well, it's there's lots of ways to say things, right?
mhm.
But I think what we're talking about is this money associated with nation states, right?
Yeah.
And governments. And part of this is about not breaking that system because that system's already broke.
Yeah. Like,
What this is about is creating like programmable currency. Like you can program it. This is the thing is this is where Bitcoin and Ethereum are innovations. Like, and so maybe we can should we go into how this started with Bitcoin and Ethereum and then how we are right here. And then I want to focus us because what we're going to do between each week, we're going to try and do every Thursday until we say we don't like this, right?
mhm.
So our objective is to onboard you into your own consciousness about what you're doing. You're going to decide for yourself. I'm going to guide you into what I'm doing. Okay.
Mhm.
And I'm going to share with you, and we're going to do person to person currency exchange. Okay. And yeah. So, and by the way, just because it's blockchain and crypto doesn't make it good. There's a lot of dark forces and negativity and corruption and negativity. And part of the reason, Maya, why like how this started, there's this project. Let's call it the Eros plan. Okay. It's very controversial in the Titanx world. And we won't even go into the controversy, but it's when it was presented to me, it got presented to me by another anonymous guy. There's a few anonymous guys that are going to keep on coming into our dialogue here because it's sort of one of the secrets of crypto is how the anonymous world works and how do you learn to trust a voice or the code, right? And so when we talk about the code, trustlessness, which is what we aspire to, a trustless exchange where I don't have to trust you, you don't have to trust me, like the smart contract does the deal. Okay. But the truth is, underneath the hood, there are humans. There are developers, there are builders, there are black and white hat cowboys out to steal money and take money. And it's the wild west of currency. And so I've been doing this. I first got in my older brother he's responsible, and he was he's someone who sees trends before they happen. And he used to go to these Bitcoin meetings with developers and groupies in like hotel basements in lower Manhattan, like years ago, right? And he used to tell me there's something, it's digital money. You're going to mine it. You're going to mine it. And so mining Bitcoin became a thing. And my brother, I saw him, if he had held what he originally bought, he'd be a billionaire. Okay. So that's how, yes, he was in early, he sold. And so when we talk about like crypto, most people lose money. Like I came here when I saw my brother making money in Bitcoin. I came here in 2017 because I saw him making all this money. I was like, wait a second, how is he part-time doing this? And he's looking at charts and he's talking about the Bitcoin halving in a 4-year cycle. And I was like, what is he talking about? I had no idea. So I decided in 2017 that I needed to study this because I really I didn't like the fiat system. It's not about the dollar or the yen or the this or the that. It's that it's blood money,
Yeah,
basically.
you have to sell work for work is good, but it's just the way it's
It's it's just conspiring to, I believe that we're meant to be free. I'm
yes,
a freedom
ultimately.
maximalist, right? Maximalist for freedom as long as we're responsible. So anyway, I started studying and I got in, and really the question, Maya, is part of this is I'm going to be sharing what I know. You're going to be sharing what you know. I'm going to be transferring like a version of my portfolio. Like there's going to be 3 assets that we're going to be working with. One is my favorite one, ORX. It's my favorite one. I
Hmm.
love it, right? And things that I love, I carve for. That's why, like, and the carvings are protection and inspiration. Okay. Not just for like, yeah, for the enterprise. Even if something bad were to happen, the carving, the totemic thing adds like a layer of inspiration and protection to the whole operation. So ORX, the reason why I like it for you is because it's going to be the least risky how we do it. We're going to decrease the risk of a very risky, volatile asset class, which is crypto, right?
Hmm.
It's crazy volatile. And that's a feature. It's like you've got to learn to like appreciate the highs and the lows. Right now, we're at a low, a local low in a bull run. We're at a local low. People are depressed. People are angry. People have lost a lot of money. Okay, except for the people who really know the market and know how to sell on the way up, and buy at the bottom. So the game is you buy blood, you buy the bottom of like exponential potential projects, and then you either sell on the way up or you find a way to get value without selling, which is what I like to do. And that's why I love Ouroboros. So, but we're going to be working with you on USDX, which is a stable coin, USDX. It's a stable coin that's part of the Ouroboros protocol. We'll look under the hood later to see how it all works and why I think it's amazing. But that's not what we're going to do now. I'm just going to, at from 30,000 feet, going to say, all right, we're going to work on getting you farming the ORX token with as much stable coin as you can afford to lose. $50, right? $50 we're going to start with, right? And I'll match that 50, and maybe we can get some other people that will match that 50. And it's not a pure gift. It's not. You're contributing it's learn to earn or earn to learn or whatever it is, right? And so it's like, so we're going to take your stable coin and we're going to stake it on the Ouroboros protocol, and you're going to be farming ORX token. And that's a way to get in the game. You're still going to have a stable coin as long as there's no personal error or smart contract error, or you don't make a mistake, I don't make a mistake, the contract doesn't make a mistake. We're going to have a stable coin, and we're going to have the yield. We're going to have the yield. My software is trying to update itself. It's going to shut me down.
Yeah.
We're going to create stable coin yield in a token called ORX that basically gives us an ownership stake in the whole protocol. And it's a fee sharing token. And so that's the kind of token that you use your stable coin to farm, and you just hold it. You hold it. And it's an asset, that you hold and can make passive income on it. And we'll get there. So that's one, the Ouroboros. That's my favorite protocol. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's built on Titanx, incubated in Titanx, and I'll describe what that means. And it's on the Ethereum blockchain. Okay. The next protocol, that's a very ambitious project and very early stage. And so we're in early, and that's how you do this game. You choose, I think it's a gem. I chose it. I got to know the developer. He's anonymous, but through typing and dialogue and reading and studying and following how he developed it, I thought, this is amazing. This is like early stage Aave. This is a banking on the blockchain that right now is this is how I'm going to build my bank on the blockchain. Okay. There are other things I'm doing, but okay. The other big one is the reason why we're doing this, because I never would have started streaming but for this guy, Peter, okay, who's another anonymous guy, okay, who just showed up, on Twitter and Telegram, which is where like crypto degenerates who are in the, back alleys of crypto, right, hanging out, people show up. This guy, Peter, showed up, and he DM'd me after I don't know, hearing me or seeing me write something or something. He DM'd me. He said, "Look, I've got this idea. It's called the Eros plan." And we started talking about it, and he started sending me audios, and it's a controversial project because it's like in the gray area of the ethos of a protocol. It's the gray area. It's not black and white. It's like it's what they call a community takeover or a community migration. There's no one in charge. He definitely had this idea for the Eros plan, and I really like it. And the essence of it, we're going to take you from Ethereum, which is where Ouroboros is. We're going to bridge you and me over to Pulse Chain. Think about these different blockchains as islands. There's the Ethereum island and a Pulse Chain island and a Sonic island. Those are the three blockchains that you and I are going to talk about. Pulse Chain, Ethereum, Sonic, and maybe a little Base, just for context, because they're owned by or partnered with Coinbase, and you sort of know them. So I'm not wild about that blockchain, but from a user experience, it's good. It's cheap and fast, relatively, but there's reasons why I don't like it. But anyway, the Eros plan is controversial. So, and people at first said to me, no, don't do it. It's a scam. There's a bad taste in people's mouth about it. There's a lot of reaction to it. And so when I get a no from the universe, I've learned to look deeper into it. when there's like that much reactivity to something, there's something there. Either it's a huge red flag and I need to figure out what is it a scam? Is it a this? Is it, or it's a big opportunity because people are reacting to it strongly. And what I've learned is like pay attention when there's a reaction like that. So I dug in. This guy Peter is brilliant. He's an OG crypto guy, and he's very experienced in the art of liquidity, which is capital in these blockchains, in these automated market makers. Okay, so that's Eros. We're going to go there, and I'm going to be sending you some Zara LPs. Okay, these are like, it's an asset. It's a combination of Lotus and Eden. I'm going to send you. I'm going to send, no, a combination of Eros and Lotus. That's one thing I'm going to send you. Okay. I'll also probably send you some Titan X, no, some Dragon X and Pulse. I'll send, because we're building a liquidity web. That's the Eros plan. Okay. So that is a very high risk, high return enterprise. It's the kind of thing that I call it, it's a lottery ticket. It's sort of like you put, and it's really about a workhorse. And so that's the Eros plan. The third project that I'm going to share with you is one of my favorites. And you were talking about Ascendant and you were drawing the Ascension, right? I didn't tell you about Ascendant Protocol, did I? No. I didn't tell you about the Ascendant Protocol, and I didn't tell you about Lotus Protocol either. And you made the Ascendant and a Lotus, and I'm like,
it's so crazy.
It's so crazy, right? And so that's why there are synchronicities. So the thing about Ascendant that I like, so Ouroboros is a mainstream protocol. It's going to be a blue chip one day. Okay. It's going to maintain itself over many cycles if collectively with Shadowy, the builder, we can stay unified and smart. We're about to exponentially grow. It's part of why I want to stream about it, to help it to grow wisely, to educate about Ouroboros. Eros is like, it's a meme play. It's a meme. It's a utility meme coin play. Okay. Passive income fronting with memes on Pulse Chain. It's like degen heaven. It's high risk, high return. We put a little in and see if we can 100x, 1000x, 10,000x. There's no guarantees, but that's the kind of project, if you get in early, can blow up like that. Okay. The third one is Ascendant. Part of it, it's like, it's a little gem. It's a little diamond. Okay. It's a small protocol. The builders have big aspirations, really smart, ethical, funny builders team, right, that has built Ascendant. And they're working on other projects too that I'm intrigued by. But Ascendant is cool because it's got Goku as the picture on the NFT, right? And so I'm going to send you a female Goku. She's red, man. She's hot. She's on fire. She's really great. But the cool thing is, this is like what they call a hybrid NFT. It's a hybrid It's got the picture, the front, but the hybrid piece of it is that there's an asset. There's an asset that's working for you. And there's a protocol that's delivering passive income if you hold the NFT. Okay. And so that NFT, I think, is where we're going to start. By next Thursday, you're going to have your wallet set up. And during the week, I'm going to send you some gas in Ethereum just so that you don't have to start. I'm going to send you some gas, some Ethereum, and I'm going to send you one of these Goku Ascendant NFTs. Okay. It's yours then. You could send it back to me if you want. This is like what they call person-to-person exchange. Okay. And for tax purposes, for you, it's a gift. Just tell them it's a gift. We still may need to report it, but it's true. I'm giving it as a gift. Or you could say it's a gift, a learn to earn, whatever. But the thing is that it's really to teach the idea of sending this store of value, which is the Ascendant NFT, over the blockchain between one human to another, one wallet. Okay. And so we're going to do that. And then next Thursday, we'll then look at the Ascendant NFT. You can bring it up. You can, you can look at it, and then hopefully I think Sal, who's one of Warrior Soul is his Twitter handle. You can go check him out. He's cool. And I don't know if he will, but I think he'll maybe walk us through how do they get passive income Dragon X. So you're going to get paid when I send you this NFT. You're going to get paid in Dragon X every 8 days, every 28 days, and every 88 days, I think. If the protocol has value coming in that it can distribute to the people in the pool. These are basically pools that distribute real yield. That's sort of the idea. It's not inflationary yield, though some of it is. This is where I'm going to start distinguishing what's real yield, which is fee-based yield, right? Or other versus inflationary yield, which is you can just create money by writing code, right? Which is cool. That's how we built Titan X. We inflated by self-mining. Okay, anyway, I think we're going all over the road now. I think we're almost good. Anything else on your mind, Maya, this evening for your birthday? It is your birthday. Are you
Yeah.
doing anything later?
Yes. So I do have 15 more minutes
Perfect.
before
Yeah,
I
what are you
do.
doing?
I'm going out with some friends.
Nice.
I wasn't going to, but
I think it's good. I think it's good to go out. And did they pull you out?
yeah.
All right. So 15 minutes. So my thought is every week we're going to have a mission. It's a joint. I'm going to have to do something. And you're going to have to do something. So the first one is, so the first one is you've got your wallet. You've got, and I want to make sure it's safe. And so you and I are going to talk, not online, not on this thing, but we're going to talk about how to create wallet safety. Okay. So these digital wallets are like real wallets in a way. Okay. So if you have $10, you can keep it in your wallet, right? That's fine. You might have a digital wallet on your phone with $10. It's like having a purse or a wallet with $10 or $100 in it. Once you have $1,000 or $5,000 or $10,000, then you're going to want the level of security for that level. And then when you get up to 100,000, you're going to want that level of security. And then when you get up to, right, so you keep on having to up the level of security based on the value that you could lose. Right. And there's different ways you lose. Most of us lose by our own personal errors. Sometimes we get hacked, but it's almost always our personal error that we do. And so privately, you and I are not going to talk about security. We're going to talk about the vibrations of the assets that you hold, and how do you grow it. that's that's what I'm gonna, like, you're gonna help me grow my bags, I'm gonna help you grow your bags, and your vibes are gonna help everyone who tunes in here, because
Mm-hmm.
the truth is, a lot of guys in crypto front. It's almost all guys, and I know guys, young guys, old guys, middle guys, guys front. Women front too, but guys front hardcore, right? Especially, right? I mean,
Sure. Yeah, they front hardcore.
I mean, don't we?
No, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, so hard. And this is what I know. So there's a lot of keyboard warriors out in crypto, a lot of guys talking, yeah, exactly. And I'm like, please, you don't even, please, right? And so the no, but the point
Please.
is, I forgot what the point is. All right, I think we're almost good. So our mission is, between now and next Thursday, I'm going to send you an Ascendant NFT.
Okay.
That's the easiest one. I was thinking, what's the easiest one to teach you? Eros is hard, but it's probably, it's the highest risk, highest return one that could just blow up.
Mm-hmm.
Short term, 3, 6, 9, 12 months. That's short term.
Mm-hmm.
Long term, Ouroboros, we're just going to hold. And I'm going to teach you how to farm RX token using stable coins. Okay, that's what I would do if I wasn't in Ouroboros. I would get stable coins and farm ORX. So that's the kind of token I think you hold, and you hold as long as you can until you have to sell it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, I think I'd prefer to hold it and use it as a collateral asset, like real estate,
Mm-hmm.
like a home equity line, and like, have it and be able to borrow against it, so I don't ever have to sell it, and maybe stake it and borrow against it some, and stake it and get passive income some. So that's Ouroboros. Eros is going to be fun because it's what, during the week, I'm going to actually be promoting. Okay. And so that's why I'm going to send you some of these NFTs, the NFTs which represent a liquidity pool. Okay. I'm going to send that to you, and we're going to watch it grow and go down. But the beauty of a liquidity pool is you get fees. You get everything I've got you in is passive income. Okay. Everything that we're going to be doing is what I like, which is, well, Eros, let's not call it a fundamentally sound asset. It's in recovery mode. It's not fundamentally sound yet. The protocol, I think, is fun, but the asset is coming back from hitting a bottom and being lost by a team and left by a team. That's not a fundamentally sound, but it has huge potential, and I think we're going to blow it up. Ouroboros and Ascendant are really fundamentally sound long-term holds. Ascendant is a micro cap gem. It's a diamond. It can go from like $150,000. I think it's $450,000 market cap now. It could 100x, right? And so the $60 NFT that I'll send you, 60 or 80 or $100 NFT, whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
it could 100x. It really could. It could 10x. It could 5x. It could go to zero. So the
Mm-hmm.
thing is, you only invest in the beginning what you can afford to lose until you learn the game, make it safe, productive. And even then, because I probably have more invested than I can afford to lose. But when I started with what I could afford to lose. And I don't put anything else in until I can afford to lose it. But
Mm-hmm.
now I'm just growing the value on chain. Okay. All right, Maya.
Got it.
Thank you for joining me.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me and to assist you with this.
Well, you're assisting me, and hopefully I'm going to assist you. We're going to, like, yeah, we're gonna, yeah, we're going for, yeah, we're gonna 100x your bag. Really,
Mhm.
I mean, that's
Oh,
that
good.
now that's what we're, and it may go to zero. And yeah, it's all
Lord, I
good.
hope it doesn't though.
That's that's why we've got the carvings, right? And
Yeah,
that's why I'm gonna
protection.
have green lotus flowers, like, so that
Bloom.
you're gonna be making ascendant poems.
Yeah, yeah.
For Sal and Builder Lee. Those are the builders. Builder Lee and Warrior Soul are building Ascendant. And the more that we give them support and art, Ascendant art, I've got a whole series of Ascendant light beings I'll share. I there's a carving that I made for us just because I like them and I like the protocol. And then I make all these Ascendant light beings. I've got hundreds now of Zara, and I've got the Eros totem. I already carved Eros from a year ago. This is
Mhm.
why people said, "Hey, Chiz, don't do Eros. It's bad. Don't do Eros. That guy Peter's that. Don't do Eros." I was like, "No, no, no.
It's a spiritual thing.
Well, it's a spiritual thing." That's exactly right. I've already carved it. It's in the Totemic totem. I carved
Yeah.
this big heart. I'm gonna explore it. I'm gonna open myself to it. And so that's, out of all of these, it's the one that could 10,000x. It could go to zero even faster than the other ones, right?
Mhm.
Ouroboros is the most stable because it's a utility, like a hard utility. It's like a bank on the blockchain, basically.
Mhm.
And it's smart contracts that we're going to interact with and use it to grow health, wealth, and mission of service beyond self. Right?
Mhm.
All right. Peace out, Maya. Thank
Peace.
you for
Thank
joining.
you.
My son is coming home right now. The dogs are about to go nuts. So, all right. So next week, same time, unless something happens.
Yes.
And our
Same
mission,
time.
what?
Yeah, same time. Maybe an hour back, an
Okay.
hour later.
So an hour later.
Yeah, perhaps because I'll be coming home, um, being out and about.
All right.
So,
Well, let's talk about it. As
yeah.
long as I mean, this is our first one. We can always adapt it. People,
Mhm.
if they like this, I mean, I don't really care if anybody watches this. I just like this dialogue, and I'm eventually going to do it to educate, so that you educate, I'm going to educate you, you're going to educate me, you're going to educate your people, I'm going to educate, right? So that's how we spread the education love and the art
Mhm.
vibes and the
Yep.
totemic art flow. All right. Peace
Okay.
out, Maya.
Good night. Good night,
Happy birthday.
everyone. Thank you.
Wow. All right, people. Yo, peace out. Enjoyed it. End stream. I never front.